to the grievances that we have suffered. First of all, so I'm very much jeopardized because they know I know everything. They know that my ex-wife knows everything. They know that we have discovered everything. They know that we have been trying desperately to denounce them until now, without succeeding in doing it. And they know that we have no other choice, of course, in order to denounce them than to use their names and to talk loudly, to speak out loudly, uttering the name of mafia. And usually people who dare to talk about the mafia, actually there is a murder rule, it's not for nothing. People who talk, usually they are sentenced to death by the mafia. The fact is that in Belgium they don't kill me, my ex-wife and my 2 children physically, but they kill us through mafia proceedings against which you cannot do anything due to protection. The only way to escape all this is, of course, to be granted protection and to be granted some kind of asylum or temporary protection until the members of the mafia, the problem is not solved. It means until the members of the mafia are not arrested, until these people using fake papers, fake documents, mafia proceedings and so on, and having laundered money are not arrested and put into jail instead of us, and so that they can no longer harm me, my ex-wife and my 2 children. Our 2 children are only 9 and 16. They deserve to have a future. According to the rule of law, they have dismissed the legacy of their grandmother, the Kostaveti. Their father, have dismissed the legacy again as well. That is their legal statuses in Belgium, according to the rule of law. In Hungary, the legal statuses is that of Hungarians living abroad, meaning that our children should live with us. Already since the end of 2018, we have been illegally separated from them. They should be with us, and so that they could also be able to apply for asylum in a country outside of Belgium and Hungary, as their physical presence on the territory of that country is necessary. This is why also they are illegally retained in Hungary by deceiving the Hungarian grandparents, by luring them into thinking that they are legal guardians of the children and so on, but all is based on 2 fake papers issued by the police forces in Szeged, in which the legal statuses of the children of my ex-wife and of myself have been deliberately concealed to pretend that Hungarian law is applicable and to pretend that So this is the situation. So we want the rule of law to be applied. We want that our children be considered as having accepted the legacy, and that I have been considered, should be accepted as having accepted the legacy. We should live freely like any other family, and we should be together like any other family. So we ask for family reunification. We ask also for punishment of all the people who have produced and who are using mafia or illegal papers in mafia proceedings, and who are participating in mafia proceedings. I don't talk about all the people who have laundered money which we don't know. I would like to mention a name that was quoted by me from a member of the mafia itself, like Jean-Philippe Rivière, which is a lawyer in Tournai, and as he has been quoted by a member of the mafia who suggested that they should turn to him. I guess that this guy might also have, he's from Tournai, might also have used that money laundering system, together with, as I mentioned, local authorities. You have to know that the mafia also includes sometimes white collars, so it would be no surprise if there would be king's prosecutors among them. Those white collars are lawyers, which are always money greedy, lawyers, public notaries, like lawyers like Vincent Dunta, Nathalie Van Gelu, Philippe Verzip, and Nicolas Van Speybroek. Public notaries like Benoit Heymans in Brussels, or like Wim Maas, public notary in the city of Oostduinkerke at the Belgian seaside. I talked about bankers, Pierre Van Yperseel, which is and Francis Soutens, which are 2 bankers. Pierre Van Yperseel was a banker, so they are the authors of that illegal financial construction. I talked to you about other people like Longeval Nicolas, Longeval Bernard, Longeval Caroline, so my 2 brothers and my sister, Also the Hungarian uncle of the children, which has been recruited by a certain Till Emmanuel. I also talked about among those white collars are, for instance, doctors like Till Emmanuel and his wife Valérie Provost. They are living at the address 5 Rue du Château, 5 Rue du Château in the village of Molenbeek, and are great money launderers. And I don't think about all other people, like also, for example, Olivier Meunier. Olivier Meunier is working as at a telecom company, the telecom company in Belgium. A great friend of Till Emmanuel, and who used to mock me by telling me, you make a lot of money," without that I understood what it means. Now I understand what it means. He used to laugh at me, but now I understand that he knew about everything, and he might have used also that illegal financial construction. Many people, I believe, in Belgium, or at least in my region, like Hungarian, in Silly, knew about that, but were bound by the Omerta rule, not telling me that, in fact, my name and my identity was used behind my back during many years. That fake charges had been put into place, had been construed upon, with the help of, for instance, 2 other mafia members who were cyber criminals, Nicolas Dewey, living at the address 23 Rue de la Sille in the village of Ellebeek, so 2 houses away from us, and Lieven van den Ede, another mafia member, actually, who was recruited by the mafia as he was working at the data processing division, IT division at my workplace, so the Federal Public Service for Social Security. Which means that mafia has always been active in my life, has influenced many parts of my life behind my back, since many years, even at my workplace, and they have influenced also many parts of the life of my ex-wife, because as Till Emmanuel said to her once, "It's your fate." We didn't say that it's your fate because you have married Jean-Jacques Christophe, but he meant it. And of course, they are influencing the life of the children now, as the children are not in the hands of the Hungarian grandparents, as the mafia wants to make people believe, but they are in the hands of the mafia, because it's the mafia who are pulling the strings behind the Hungarian grandparents, influencing them, deceiving them with the fake papers produced by a police force in the town of Szeged, so that they would think that they are the Hungarian grandparents. They are the parents now, that we have been deprived of all parental authority, and so that they would, for instance, oppose to any departure of the children with us, while they should live abroad with us, so that they are instrumentalized to keep the children illegally in Hungary, so that they cannot be in another country and apply for asylum, while they should do that. Under the rule of law, they should be with us. For example, with my ex-wife in Austria, she has a flat there. They should live there, and they would then be able to apply for asylum in case of forceful acceptance of the legacy of their Belgian grandmother. This is just an example. I'm very much afraid of corruption, because as I told you, mafia usually resorts to corruption, and they can corrupt many people. We have examples of corruption, at least of people who have been police forces, other police forces have been contacted by the mafia, or by police forces themselves to act mafia-like against us, like it was the case in Croatia. It was the case in also in Georgia, and so I'm afraid of that, of the financial means of the mafia that would then pay people to so that we would never succeed in achieving our goals, which is to denounce them, which is to be granted asylum, and so that my children and myself and my ex-wife could have a future. Thank you.